Hi there and welcome to Story Time with Uncle Bill. Today 16 and a half, fitting a year, road to six pack abs. It's half because we did chest today and we do some seated abs. First time we did abs, we did them on the ground. And when I got shot, one of the stipulations was the first couple months I had to, while it was healing, I had to lay on my back with my foot elevated because it was swole. And if it went below raised, it would swell up real bad because all the blood went to it. And I mean, it would get huge, really big. If you see where the ants bit me, my foot was pretty swole. It was way worse than that. It was horrible. A lot of times too. Wasn't supposed to be that way. It was never supposed to be that way, but I did it. Because I had to be outside. Didn't raise my leg. It's dumb. Looked like it could bust. But it was being in that wheelchair, being laid up on my back, and not being able to work out. I just wanted to work out. I wanted to do everything that I did normally before I got shot, and now I'm shot. Now I can't do nothing. And that only lasted so long. Because you could do anything you want. You just had to pay the price for it. Let me check. Okay. Yeah, maybe a little. You probably don't have this. Let me rock out two of these right quick. It's a little warm up. But if you don't have it, just pretend like the thing ain't there. Though when you're going back, you're really engaging your abs. But when you're going forward, as soon as you reach right here, you'll feel that your abs aren't engaging anymore. And it actually shoots back to your lower back, which also becomes like a seated good morning. It's not the same thing, but it's both part of your core. And that's what part of abs is. Your core being also your lower back. And your lower back only works at the fulcrum right here. So when you're going up, and you can always feel it. You can feel it coming up right here. So when you deadlift and do that, man, that's why I deadlift, man. Deadlift, it's incredible. The feelings you get from deadlifting and squat, and how tired and oh man, it just takes it out of you. But you feel like a monster afterwards. So when you go back, you work your abs, your upper abs. And you go forward, you work your lower back. When you go to your sides, you work your sides, your obliques. Doesn't matter if you're on the floor, in a chair, or in the bed. I got a whole nother bed workout where it's more movement. It's more movement. Definitely need a day off. Got a little bit too much soreness. I work out more than what you see. Plus, I work, and when I work, I always think about that I'm working out. I'm trying to make the work that I do a workout, especially if there's stuff heavy involved. And I do landscaping, so I'm toting bales of hay. They're not really heavy, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 pounds, stuff like that. I'm a painter, so 5-gallon buckets, roughly 45 pounds. Always toting a couple of them. And so I might shrug it or curl it along the way. I mean, that's just how I operate. Everybody knows that too. Or wood or sheetrock. You see me with 5 or 6 damn 4x4 posts, walking every 10 steps. You know how far I got to go doing squats with them. Well, that's not now, but or taking one at a time and doing overhead presses to where I got to go, or 2, however many everybody else is doing, depending on how far the walk is. Sometimes I've had to walk a long way with shit because you couldn't get nothing up there. Nothing could get up there. You just had, especially like stuff up in the hills or the mountains where they can't get cars and shit. They don't want to get stuck. Like, man, we can't do anything. A horse, a donkey. And they would have, they just couldn't find this stuff. So I make that a workout too. There's some people that believe you don't have to do abs. Everything you do involves that is true. Even breathing. Your abs are always, your abdominals are always in some way, shape, or form working. It's true. It's very true. And when you're doing exercises, you should be concentrating on engaging. Oh, man. When you see that, I'm just trying to rub my shoulder out. It just sucks. And that'll be probably every video, too, because that's how it is on every workout. I mean, it's literally my living room, my gym. So if you ever worked out with me, you know it did. But you have to work it, man. You just have to. It's your insides right here, and think of it like you need to build a wall of protection. It just doesn't come by sleeping or hoping that it's a 3rd, 4th, 5th muscle working. You need to help it out. So I'm gonna sit on the edge of the chair. That'll give you the most space to go backward. But if like there's no backing on here, and I'll do it with a chair without no backing. This is more like a stool right now. You can fall off. I mean, it's just easy to fall off. So it doesn't matter where you put your hands at. I like to put my hands on my stomach, and you'll feel it as soon as you lean back. Right here is engaged. Try to get somewhere where you ain't gonna bump your head, but you ain't gonna fall all the way backwards. Like I would fall all the way backwards. But that actually thing allows me to, I can touch it as far back as you get it, because when you get right here, it's gone. So I'm coming up to this the straight 90 position, like I had perfect posture. And I'm not going past that, so I'm keeping the ab just before it unengages. I stop and I'm coming back to engage it again. It has to work for me. Now I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see. Okay, so we hit the upper half. Now there's all kind of ways you could do this. I like doing it this way. We're going to engage the obliques. Just give yourself 5 on the other side. And your arm should be out, and you really need to push for it. And you know, I got a big stomach, so it gets in the way of stuff. And maybe you have a bigger stomach, and these movements are going to be small. Well, then start small. If you can, if you only move that much, eventually we'll get the stomach away. Do all the work, it'll go away. I promise you. I've seen it too many times. I have one. I got plenty of videos right now that you can see me. Today is November 16th. Without my shirt on, it's not impressive. But in a year, let's see what we can do. Might even look all right. So we hit the top, we hit the side, now we're gonna hit the bottom. From the seated position, or any position, when you start lifting your knees up towards your face, towards your head, you are engaging your lower abs. Lifting your feet, it's all lower abs. So, and you can do it one-legged or two-legged. I'm going to do it one leg at a time, and I'm just going to bring one leg, I'm going to bring one knee as high as I can get it to my face. Rock back. So I'm engaging my lower and my upper at the same time. Now if you want to twist to it, let's see, here's where my stomach's getting in the way. You just do the best you could do. And we try to. When you bring your feet out, if you can push your feet, the further out you could go, the more you're engaging your ab muscles. Yep. I got the sugar-free Kool-Aid. Cherry flavor with the Kool-Aid in it. All right, my ass on fire. Okay. I got my legs spread in a V right here. I don't know if you can see it, folks. I'm going to sit in the middle of the chair. And let's see. I'm going to dive to my legs. So it's literally out like this. And I'm going to take it, I'm going to dive to it. Push on out there, dive. When I say dive, until let you hit the water. Because you got to pull yourself back in. You got to pull yourself back in. Tell you a little story right quick. I was a commercial fisherman coming fishing out of Morehead City, North Carolina, off actually my stepdad's boat, the Sea Robin. And I was out there with Little Bill, and they was like, "Yeah, we're gonna rock back and forth with the no, we're gonna bring one knee up." So it was like, "Yo, jump in the water," and we was off this shipwreck, and we was deep sea fishermen, long deep sea bottom. So I had a hydraulic rod and reel. I had a reel like this big, but it was like a film reel. And the pole was this fiberglass. It was like a 2-inch piece of fiberglass, like a damn paddle. And at the end of it, it had another big reel. It had a metal leader. The line was made of metal. I mean, it was like you could tow a car with it. And used a hook that was at least a jab. We call it a jab hook. It was that big. It was monstrous. And used whole fish. I mean, you know, the bait was this big. Catch groupers, beeliners, snappers, triggerfish, huge fish, 100, 150 pounds, 200 pound fish. I caught a what they call we call them rally rigs. 7 hooks. Yeah, you could put any number. My number was 7. That's my lucky number. 7 hooks spaced out. roughly 18 inches, 2 feet. Fishing up to 600 fathoms. Sometimes it would take 5, 6, 10 minutes for the weight. And we would use, depending on how bad the current was, 20-pound weights. I mean, literally a big piece of metal, man, a big hunk of metal. Throw it overboard, and if the current's running wild, you see the object of a weight is when you're deep sea like that is to make the bait go right where the fish are. You got your fish finder going nuts. Put the bait on top of them, and generally speaking, you'll catch fish. Sometimes a lot of fish. I caught a lot of men. I caught hundreds of fish in minutes. It's incredible. Or you'll spend 5, 10 minutes waiting for your hook to hit the bottom and take 20, 25 minutes to reel it up with a hydraulic rod and reel. So when I push it forward, the line goes down. When I push it back, there's none of this. And come up with 1,000 pounds of fish on one reel. Might take 20 minutes, but I've had 7, 30, 40, 50 pound fish on one line few times. It's an incredible feeling. Even catching it like that. So we're coming up. You want to try to hit your elbow. Got my breathing all wrong. When you're coming down, you're supposed to breathe in. So we're off that shipwreck. We're off a shipwreck. We're about 500 miles out in the ocean. You would think you were closer to Africa than you were to North Carolina. And when you look on a map, you're basically right next to the land. Even at 500 miles. And you can't see land. It's like, yeah. And I can see the fish finder. And it's just all red. There's fish everywhere. And I hadn't caught a bunch of fish. And it's like, yo, jump in the water here, jump in the water here. Man, I ain't jumped off that boat yet. And I can swim like a fish, too. But I just know what's out there, you know what I mean? But for whatever reason, this day, I felt froggy. You know, everybody else jumps out there. It ain't no big deal. I mean, people swim with sharks. But I had just caught a 15-foot, 700 and something odd pound sand tiger that scared me to death. He was huge, and I remember what he looked like when he came out of the water. He was big. He was bigger than me. And that's his territory, and I'm about to jump in it. And I've seen people jump in with all kind of sharks. I mean, you know, they even got paid attractions like that. So little Bill jumped in, and I went and got a big running start. The boat's only 15 feet wide, but I tore off. I had 2 good legs at the time, and I had caught the edge of the boat perfect for the dive and had good momentum, and I just went we're just going back, no foot movement. Man, I hit that water, and didn't go down. I skimmed the top. I know how to dive. So that means I got out way further. When I turned around, folks, and I got lucky there wasn't no current. God, I got lucky there wasn't no current. I think that's why we jumped. It's like one of the few times ever there wasn't no current. I turned around. Oh, God, I forgot about that. I turned around, man, and the boat was a long way away. I was like, hell no, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I panicked. You could not tell me that the Kraken wasn't after me. You couldn't tell me the Jaws. You couldn't tell me the creature from the Black Lagoon who lives in freshwater. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was scared. Because I was swimming. You probably couldn't see it. Little Bill was he had been fishing his whole life. That's what he did. He was a commercial fisherman. I had just got out of prison, so I was a greenhorn, and I ain't never did no commercial fish. It's like my fifth at 10th trip, and so he's just over there lollygagging. I was swimming so hard, and I didn't see him at first. I hit him. I hit him getting by. So as a matter of fact, I knew there was going to be a problem getting in the boat because of how high it set high off the water. And I was like, look, we need to make some kind of ladder. Now I'm going to go all the way forward and engage my lower back. Keep your head up. And, I got around the back of that damn boat. Oh, Lord, folks. They didn't have anything made. There wasn't no ramp or no stairs or nothing. And the boat was bobbing up and down. There wasn't no current, but it wasn't glassing neither. And oh man, I was getting cut up by the barnacles underneath the bottom of the boat. They was tearing me up, and those hurt for a long time. Oh man, they immediately started itching too, and but I saw blood in the water, and I always heard that a shark can smell an ounce of blood in the water miles away. It'll send them all coming, and I seen more than what it should have been. There shouldn't have been no blood. So I was already in a state of not calm. Man, I'm clawing up the damn side of that boat. Get me the hell out of here. Get me out of here. So there wasn't but a couple people on the boat, but a whole bunch of dudes. Everybody that was on that boat reached over and grabbed me and hauled me up. And when I had turned around, I seen Little Bill. And my adrenaline was through the roof. I almost dragged. Matter of fact, I almost pulled two of them over. Because once I got my hand up there, I needed to come out of the water. I was scared, and the whole time just thinking something's already on the way. You ever watch Shark Week and seen them damn sharks come out that water, launching out the water? That's the only thing I can think about. That was actually just becoming a thing because that ain't been a thing forever. Same thing, scissors. So down, and I'm gonna go one foot at a time. Bring your knees to your chest and your head to your knees. And you can go to the side. So Got to build a wall, man. We got to protect the inside. A lot of hernias could be prevented. There's a lot of hernias, man. You don't want a mesh stomach. It's actually the lining inside of the stomach, but it's two different things. But your abs will protect all that getting hit. You need them. It's important. Just stop your back blowing out. If you've ever had your back blow out, man, it's not worth it. And it done. And the lower back is actually the weakest part of the body. You're just susceptible, and you're top heavy. So that's why they tell you bend with your legs, because if your back was super strong, you wouldn't have to. And even if your back is super strong and you can lift all the weight in the world, you still lift with your legs. There is no, oh no, it's all right, you got all the muscles in the world. Nah. Just ain't how it works. It's still the weakest part of your body, so lift with your legs. Protect yourself. That's what most of this is. That's why I say, you be tight, protect those abs. It's easy to get hurt. It's easy to get hurt. So you wanna do abs 1 to 2 times a week. I'm going to, and maybe this ain't for you. That's fine. Just don't do it. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You know what I mean? But it's different. That's why I even do it. It's just different. It's different laying on the floor. It's different sitting down, and it's different on the bed. And I want to work as many muscles as I can. That's why I do all these exercises. I just like working out anyway. And I know what it's like when I didn't have a muscle, when I couldn't do a sit up, and then you don't realize all that what the working out does until real life situations hit. Maybe you get stuck in a ditch, and before you would never try to push the car. Now you can push it. You'd be surprised, or you got a SUV stuck, or I'm just a million things. Like I always say, groceries. When you got to pick up the kids, or the dog, things where you have to lift. Like dog food, or I got to lift wood, or mulch, or trees, or paint buckets, whether they're 1 gallon or 5 gallon. It gets easier. You just start playing with stuff like, oh wow, this ain't nothing. With your abs though, is different, because you don't really use them per se as to gauge how strong you are. When you pick something up and you're using your legs, you can feel your legs, and you know that you're using them. At what point in time do you ever feel like you're using your ab muscles? You know what I mean? So, and you'll know once you start working your ab muscles, and then you do something where your ab muscles are used, and be like, oh wow, that helped. Like picking up stuff, you'll be surprised, because now once you do the exercises, you have the muscles, and you'll eventually get used to knowing what it is that feels like, what it is. Okay, so when I lift my arm up, I'm working my bicep and knowing that that's a bicep, and then you find out, well, if it's a bicep, how do I work one and the other, and then the tricep, the same thing, and the chest. I got outer chest, inner chest, upper chest, lower chest. I'm gonna teach you all that to the best of my abilities. I'm just an amateur. I don't got none of those, no titles before and after. You don't have to call me Mister. None of that stuff. I'm just an average dude. I'm really just your average typical dude who likes to work out and want to help others, because I believe the confidence, the self-esteem, everything that comes with working out is worth it. And if nothing else, you'll be healthier. That guarantee. especially if you eat right and you drink right and you get the rest that you need. We're gonna rest tomorrow. Might do some yoga or something to surprise you. If nothing else, try to do a little warm up and shoot the poo with you. You know what I mean? And go ahead and do a little warm up, cool down. Nah, I ain't gonna do it from the city. Yeah, because I just don't want to do that no more. Ooh. All right. Hold on. Oh man, back just crazy. You hear it? I don't know. Back cracking all over the place. Plus, when you do abs, you start tapering off. You lose the love handles. One of the things you could do to help is suck your stomach in. Regardless of what you got going on, practice sucking your stomach in and breathing that way. It all that helps. Just little things help, like having a waist trimmer on and getting that little bit of excess water off. Probably over the course of a year, you'll lose a couple pounds in an inch or two because of that. And it's worth it. I swear by it. It's not back support, but you will feel something. These are good mornings. And basically what you're doing is just pushing your butt out. And it's your lower back. Oh, you really feel it too. It's amazing. I don't want to do that no more. Woo. Sit-ups, crunches, leg lifts, scissor kicks, flutter kicks, bicycle kicks. I mean, if you just do that, that's way more than enough. All right. We can call it a day. Should be tired. Well, that's the seated abs. Hope everybody's having a good day and staying safe. Hit that like button for me. Share if you can. Subscribe if you haven't.